I've been renovating this house now for almost 4 years. And when I first bought the house, there was one room inside that I was absolutely sure I would change.
There's this room. I'm not really sure what I want to do in here yet. I'm kind of thinking if I might just paint it, but I don't know. It's kind of ugly, so I gotta do something.
The funny thing is, it became the only room in the house I didn't touch. It became a space for all of my books, art, sewing projects. I even filmed some short films in here. The space got really messy. And one day I finally decided
This room has to change.
and not for the reason I first thought.
It's one of the first rooms you see when you walk into the house, and, well, it's a bit of a mess, but that's not the reason why it has to change. It has to change because it's been good enough for too long.
I feel like we do that to ourselves too. We see an area of our lives that need change, but often it's still good enough, so we let it slide. We keep things the same because they're familiar. We tell ourselves we'll fix it later. We avoid putting in the work to change ourselves because we find comfort in our old habits and ways. Even if we know we can do better, we continue to let the good enough parts of our lives stay the same. We look at the old walls and the dirt and the clutter we've somehow learned to ignore. Things we've gotten so used to we don't even notice how bad they've become.
It's kind of like, I know where my scissors are, but if someone else came over and asked me where the scissors are, well, I would be embarrassed to show them.
We do things we don't want to do or keep things the same we want to change because it's familiar, even if it's not good.
There's a saying that I love, and I'm not sure where I first heard it, but it goes, what got you here won't get you there.
Pretending the old version of this space still works for the new version of me doesn't make sense anymore. Sometimes you don't even realize how badly you needed a change until you start the process. So when I finally decided to redo this room, it wasn't just because it needed a makeover. It was a reminder that good enough just isn't enough anymore.
Just because something in our lives has been good enough for years doesn't mean it has to stay that way. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to outgrow an old version of yourself.
You're allowed to redesign the parts of your life that no longer fit. And maybe the room you've been avoiding the longest, maybe the habit you've ignored, or even the dream you've put on the shelf. Maybe it's time that we all decide that good enough just isn't enough anymore. I encourage you to do the things that you want to do. I know it's scary to change, and it's hard to change, but staying the same is scary too.
So what are the things that's been good enough in your life that you need to change in order to move on to something greater?